Welcome to the Digital Intellect, your source for breaking news and trending stories from around the world. On May 20th, 2025, the world was stunned. Beijing and Taipei announced historic comprehensive cooperation agreement. Screens from Times Square to Tokyo flashed the news. No hack, no mistake, but a seismic shift in global politics. Leaders from both sides, standing before their flags, spoke of a shared destiny and a new era of prosperity. Carefully avoiding terms like reunification or independence, they focused on practical cooperation and mutual respect. The world's newsrooms scrambled. What did this mean for the US, for Asia, for the global balance of power? For families long separated, hope flickered for reconnection. For business leaders, new opportunities beckoned. Young people, raised under the shadow of conflict, glimpsed a future of peace. The May 20th Accord, negotiated in secret, was unveiled as a finished deal, no room for outside interference. Stock markets in Shanghai, Shenzhen and Taipei soared. Currencies swung wildly as traders tried to price in the new reality. The message was clear. This was a decision by and for the people on both sides of the strait. The world watched, captivated and cautious, as two former adversaries chose partnership over rivalry. A new chapter in history had begun. To grasp the magnitude of the accord, we must look back. In 1949, the Chinese Civil War split China and Taiwan. Two governments, both claiming legitimacy, locked in a tense standoff. The Taiwan Strait became a global flashpoint, with the US pledging to defend Taiwan, creating a complex triangle of power. Over decades, military threats faded, but political and ideological divides remained. Economic ties grew in the late 1980s, as Taiwanese businesses invested heavily in the mainland, creating a paradox: political rivals, economic partners. This hot economics, cold politics model defined relations for years. The journey to the 2025 agreement was long, marked by crises and moments of hope, direct flights, trade links, and shifting leadership. The US walked a diplomatic tightrope, supporting Taiwan's democracy without provoking China. Against this backdrop of history, tension, and economic interdependence, the secret negotiations for the May 20th Accord unfolded. Its success was nothing short of remarkable. The May 20th Accord was pragmatic, not political union but a framework for deep cooperation. Its core shared prosperity through partnership. The agreement focused on what was possible, tangible benefits for both peoples. Three pillars defined it: economic integration, technological collaboration, and cultural exchange. The economic pillar created a cross-strait common market, eliminating trade barriers and launching joint infrastructure projects like high-speed rail and investment funds. The technology pillar established joint R&D centers, blending Taiwan's semiconductor expertise with China's AI and e-commerce strengths, envisioning a Silicon Strait. Harmonized standards and IP protections aimed to set global benchmarks. The cultural pillar simplified travel, launched joint cultural programs, and created a shared history project to foster mutual understanding. The goal replaced old narratives of conflict with a new story of cooperation. The accord was ambitious, but grounded in practical steps. It offered a vision of unity without erasing identity. For the first time, both sides could imagine a future built together. The world took notice. The announcement sent shockwaves through global power centers. In Washington, stunned silence gave way to emergency meetings. US policy in Asia was upended overnight. Japan and South Korea expressed deep concern, fearing a shift in regional power and influence. Southeast Asian nations saw opportunity, hoping for stability and economic growth. The EU welcomed reduced tensions but stressed respect for democracy and law. Russia hailed it as a diplomatic win. In Africa and Latin America, the news was seen as a hopeful example of rivals choosing cooperation. The business world reacted fastest. CEOs reevaluated strategies, eyeing both opportunity and new competition. The cross-strait common market promised streamlined supply chains and a vast, integrated market. Others worried about a new powerhouse dominating key industries. The old rules of global commerce were about to be rewritten. The world was on notice. A new era had begun. The stakes had never been higher. Both sides. For Taiwan, it meant guaranteed access to China's vast market and reduced political risk. For China, it brought innovation and expertise, especially in semiconductors, key to its tech ambitions. The two economies were complementary: China's scale and demand, Taiwan's technology and management. The accord merged these strengths. Products designed in Taiwan, manufactured in China, sold across Asia. Together they could shape global trade rules and technical standards. Joint investment funds targeted future industries: AI, biotech, green energy. The partnership was a strategic move to boost global competitiveness. The economic rationale was clear: united, they were stronger. The world watched as a new economic engine roared to life. The implications were global. The alliance instantly redrew Asia-Pacific's geopolitical map. The US lost its central justification for military presence in the Taiwan Strait. Its alliance network showed strain. Japan and South Korea faced a choice: double down on the US or adapt to the new regional powerhouse. Countries diversified foreign policies, accelerating Asia's shift toward multipolarity. The China-Taiwan partnership became a major pole, alongside ASEAN and a rising India. The US remained influential, but no longer the sole arbiter. Military tensions in the strait eased, but new security dilemmas emerged. How would US naval operations adapt? What about arms sales to Taiwan? The strategic landscape was now fluid and unpredictable. Old Cold War alignments faded, replaced by complex new realities. The region entered an era of uncertainty and opportunity. The cross-strait common market shook the global trading system. China's manufacturing and Taiwan's tech merged, creating an export powerhouse. Global supply chains shifted. Companies now faced a single, integrated entity with greater leverage. The US and EU raced to diversify supply chains, launching new industrial policies and alliances. New economic zones emerged, each seeking self-sufficiency in strategic sectors. Trade patterns changed. The China-Taiwan bloc focused on its internal market and emerging economies. New shipping lanes and financial systems reduced dependence on the US dollar. Global institutions like the WTO struggled to keep up. Regional agreements and bilateral deals replaced universal trade rules. The China-Taiwan alliance set de facto standards for technology and trade. The era of a single global system was over. Competition and complexity ruled. Beyond politics and economics, the accord transformed daily life. Cultural exchanges flourished. Artists, filmmakers, and students crossed the strait, breaking down old stereotypes. The Shared History Project sparked debate and understanding, helping heal decades of mistrust. Identity remained complex. Many in Taiwan embraced a dual sense of self, distinct yet connected. The accord's ambiguity allowed for this balance, easing public acceptance. Security cooperation began modestly: a military hotline, joint disaster relief, and anti-piracy patrols. The long-term vision, a joint security framework for the strait, though still distant. The real test was human connection. Could people see each other as partners after 75 years? Early signs were promising. Tourism, exchanges, and business ties grew rapidly. Personal relationships became the foundation for lasting peace. The hope grassroots connections would drive irreversible momentum toward prosperity. The alliance's future is bright, but fraught with challenges. The biggest unresolved political status: hardliners on both sides remain wary. Economic integration is complex. Harmonizing laws and business cultures is daunting. Taiwan fears being overwhelmed by China's scale. Ensuring fair benefits is crucial. Internationally, the US and allies build counter-coalitions, risking a new geo-economic Cold War. The partnership's success depends on navigating global competition and maintaining stable relations. Yet the opportunities are immense: a new model for resolving disputes, unleashing growth and innovation. If successful, it could stabilize the Asia-Pacific and inspire global cooperation. The path is uncertain, but the promise of peace and prosperity is powerful. The world is watching. The 2025 Accord stands as a testament to diplomacy and shared interests over old grievances. It marks a pivotal moment for China, Taiwan, and the world. By choosing partnership, they offer hope against global division. The Accord challenges assumptions, showing that economic interdependence can trump conflict. Its true measure will be seen in lives changed, students, entrepreneurs, families reunited. The journey is just beginning, with real challenges ahead. But the story of the May 20th Accord is one of hope, a reminder that history is shaped by the choices we make. This is the dawn of a new era for all who believe in a more cooperative world.